This video, I want to talk to you a little about hooking up pneumatics. Now, this was a nice kit, came from Hallucination Creations, actually one of my favorite companies who just makes the metal hinges and motors and mechanism. It doesn't look like anything, it's just a mechanism. You can take it, mount it to a board, create your own creation on top of it, and use it. So the money is pretty good because you're up to yourself on everything you create, versus having to pay maybe $1,000 more for a finished prop. Let me just show you the basics. It took me a while before. I was a little nervous, like, how do you do this pneumatics? And when I saw it, I'm like, really? It's so easy. It's pathetic. And who actually really kind of helped me was Hallucination Creations. Because once I saw something come in a bag, ready to go, I'm like, wait a minute, this is pretty dang easy. So basically, I got a power supply. And this particular power supply converts to something that would just go to wires. So I can take these wires and go wherever I want, which might be a controller, which maybe has a power wired input versus taking this off and plugging it directly in. But here's the cool thing. This particular thing just produces the necessary voltage, which is the same voltage coming out of a controller, to trigger a valve. Now, I showed you a valve. It was wrapped up before. And these are pretty dang easy. I'm going to push down on this little plastic flange. You see this little plastic ring? Push it down, pops right out. To hook it together, you simply push it in. That is it. So you can buy 50 to 100 feet of this stuff, cut and wiggle and do what you want. And the way this works is you're going to want a piece like this. And you might look familiar that it looks like something that would go to an air compressor. So yeah, you're gonna have your regular quick connect air compressor. It hooks up to this, and this is gonna provide air into your prop. Then, and most props may only need one of these to do a whole thing it's gonna do. So the air comes in, and the way the valve kind of works is you put power, and this is a double, so it'll push one, it'll push the other. And so this one actually only has 2 wires. So the reality is, if you're not triggering one, you're automatically triggering the other. It's really simple. So you add power, it does this, take away power, it actually puts the pressure down here. That is going to push your prop out and then forcefully push your prop back in. And then the prop is going to be stuck in that position because air is constantly giving pressure, because that's the way this valve works. Now, you might say, well, how do I control how fast it goes, how fast it comes back? Because that can really be a big deal. It could fling your head off your prop. I've had that happen. I've had it jump up and hit my friend in the head. And it was way too fast. That is where these come in. So what these are is, you might see some of them are just these little brass pieces and not this filter. What this is doing is, this is a silencer. So when you hear a prop go psh, 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 I hate it, can't stand the sound. They usually may not have one of these. It could just be blasting the air out. But when you blast the air out, you can get something faster. So if you have a crazy zombie doing something, you might have to take this off. Just let the air go, be noisy, make the sound effects louder, because you're not going to get the speed of radical jerking. If you want it to be more like, psh, head comes up, get out of my tomb graveyard, come back down, and not move so wickedly fast, these are going to make it silent, not noisy. But what you're going to do is you're going to spin this down. The more you tighten this, so what it is there's a centerpiece and there's an outer ring. The centerpiece gets it tight, the outer ring simply locks it into place. What this is doing is controlling how much air can escape or enter the valve. When you are powering up the valve and it's pushing air in, it's going to have to basically be controlled by how much air can come out of these. These are vents. So by tightening and loosening these, you can make it force the air to go slow in and out of this prop. Silencing it both times. Opening and closing depends. Want to come up slow, drop fast, all can be done with this. So you're going to be sitting out there and you're going to be messing with these and how tight these are closed, and that will make things go very slow. Open it up a little bit and it's going to go a lot faster because your pressure is the same. And the pressure you use on your air compressor is just enough to make the prop work. In my haunted house, I've got one giant air compressor. Runs on 100 pounds per square inch. You don't need 100 pounds for some of these props. I don't have an example of one here. I'll make another video for that. But you can get a dial pressure regulator at Harbor Freight. And I put that from here, between these two. And that allows me to control the pressure per prop. 100 pounds of pressure coming into my whole system, but maybe only 30 pounds is coming into this one valve. And that way your prop isn't going to break or go crazy. And if you're not making your props out of steel, a violent valve could break your wood props, and they won't last very long. So got to keep your pressure down. So always use a pressure regulator to control how much air you got in here. There you go.